All right, this is William Townsend with Staked Out Podcast, and I'm here going to be tying a little shrimp pattern fly. This is for our fly tying series. It's a little shrimp pattern that I use out on the sand. Today I'll be using a 210 and olive thread, and I've already got a hook set up with lead eyes, extra small, and the hook is a TMC 800S TMCO number 4, sorry. Anyways, so we'll get started with this simple fly. I use it primarily for fishing on the sand and the flats. Down here in South Texas, it's a little shrimp pattern that we use. It's a lot of fun to catch. It's good for drum, good for redfish, and I hope you enjoy. Laying a 30-pound hard mono, and I'd go straight down the center line of this as such, and lay it down. And that just kind of cinches it in. I go a couple of wraps behind it, a couple of wraps front, right down the center line. Perfect. I'm using rabbit strips in a light brown, a little small rabbit strip, about an inch long. Like I said, this is a small fly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bobbin to poke a hole right in the back of it. And this is to run that mono through. So I'll poke a hole in the back as such, and I'll bring it through, put a little hole in it, get the thread out, and then I'll run the mono through that hole I poked. Of course, if I can find it. There it is. Okay. And then I'll bring it down and seat it on my fly. So this would be the back end of the fly. So then what I'll do is I'll take a couple of 3 wraps to cinch this down on it. Next, I'll come back. I'll double my mono over, and this is primarily to keep that rabbit from flipping over on itself when you're casting. And give it a little bit of a line, and then I'll start making my wraps and bringing it down tight, and then I'll cinch it. So I do a couple of loose wraps to get it started, and then I'll start cinching it down. I cut my mono a little longer just so I can use it for a weed guard when I get done, so I have a little bit left over. So then what I do is I start working back with the thread back towards the back of the fly as such. And there's the tail, or the horn of the shrimp, I guess you would say. And then next I'm going to come in. I'm going to put some tan silly legs, wrap it around, and I'll put it right on top. And I'll get a wrap started, and then what I do is bring it to the sides, and I'll pull it to the side. And I want those legs to lay down on the side of the tail. And then I'll start putting some loose wraps around that as such. That way they'll fall down the sides. And I'll pull these up a little bit as such and get those centered on. And then I start my wraps there. get that cinched down. So I'll have some legs splayed down the side. I'll trim those up when I get done. Next, I'm gonna use 1.5 inch EP brush in tan. It's kind of called a pink tan. And then I'll put it down on it. And then I wrap that all the way forward and come to the front of my fly with my thread. And then I start my wrap. And I usually start it in a counterclockwise fashion. And I'll pull it coming forward. Like I say, it's just a real simple fly it's real effective on sand. It's all natural. It's something I've been using with clients, and I'm kind of preparing for that, so it should be coming up soon. I do a little X around the eyes, pull that forward, and then pull that around, and then we'll start doing some wraps. 1, 2, 3 wraps. Pull my hair forward, and then I'll pull a couple coming back to it. I'll take that and trim it off, simple trim, and then I'll fold that back, and I'll build up a head on the back of the shrimp or the eyes, and then build that coming forward. Kind of clean that up some. Next, I'm going to pick up the leftover hard mono we have, and then I'm going to be making a weed guard out of that. Come in, I'll smash down one side, want it up, crease it, just put a little flat spot in it as such. I'm not a big weed guard fan, but I will put them on occasions just so if I don't like it the way it's performing, I can come back and cut it off. Center it up on the eye of the hook, work it back, and then what I do is start doing a couple of wraps behind the weed guard. Pulling them tight and then coming back forward. After such, I come in, I'll put a couple of wraps in a knot, tighten it up. Next, I'll come in, kind of look at my hook set, cut off a little bit before the hook, keep whatever left over. Fly is essentially done after that point. Come in and next, if I want, I'll come in and burn some of these straggler furs just to clean it up off the front. Then you can either use loon clear finish or just regular cement on the front. I like a little of this loon and do a UV light, but you don't have to. And I just put a little bit around it, get a little head beat up, and then kind of spin it around a little bit. Put the light on it, get it real smooth. All right, that's done. Next, I'll come kind of look at my legs, and I want them just kind of at the end of the tail. Kind of clip those out. Same here, clip those out around the end of the tail. All that's spruced forward. I kind of don't like that little straggler. I kind of clean it up how I see fit. Pull it out. It'll be riding hook up. And that's a great little shrimp fly for casting on the sand for black drum or redfish. Thank you for watching this on the fly fishing episode of Staked Out Podcast, the fly tying series. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook for any updates. Hit like and subscribe to keep up to date with any new episodes or fly tying videos or how-to tips. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Any flies you want to see, any tips and tricks you want to see, and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See you guys on the flats.